Hey everyone, and welcome to our story time. Today we're diving into an incredible adventure about a man named Jonah. Get ready, because this story has everything. A guy on the run, a massive storm, a giant fish, and a lesson about second chances. That's amazing. So, let's set the scene. Once upon a time, there was a prophet named Jonah. One day, God spoke to him with a very important job. Jonah, God said, I need you to go to the great city of Nineveh. The people there have forgotten me, and I want you to warn them to turn back to what's right. Now, you'd think Jonah would say, Okay, God, on my way. But nope, Jonah did the exact opposite. He thought, Nineveh, no way. Those people are my enemies. I don't want to help them. So, what did he do? He ran. He went straight down to the seaport, found a ship heading to Tarshish, literally the opposite direction of Nineveh, paid his fare, and hopped on board, thinking he could hide from God. He probably went down into the ship, found a cozy corner, and thought, phew, dodged that one. But as we're about to see, you can't really run from God. As the ship sailed across the sea, Jonah was probably feeling pretty pleased with himself. But then the sky started to get dark. Really dark. A huge storm blew in. Out of nowhere, the wind howled, and the waves grew into giant mountains of water, tossing the little ship around like a toy. The sailors, who were experts on the sea, were terrified. They had never seen a storm this fierce. They started throwing cargo overboard to lighten the ship, praying to their own gods to save them. Meanwhile, where was Jonah? He was fast asleep. Down in the bottom of the ship, the captain found him and woke him up, saying, How can you be sleeping? Get up and pray to your God. Maybe he will save us. The sailors decided to cast lots to figure out who was responsible for this disaster, and guess who the lot fell on? You got it, Jonah! They all looked at him. Who are you? What have you done to bring this storm on us? Jonah finally confessed, I am a Hebrew and the first worship the Lord, the God of heaven, who made the sea and the dry land. I'm running away from him. The sailors were even more scared now. What should we do to you to make the sea calm down? They asked desperately. Jonah knew what had to be done. Pick me up and throw me into the sea, he said. Then it will become calm. I know it's my fault that this great storm has come upon you. The sailors didn't want to do it. They tried rowing back to land, but the storm just got worse. Finally, seeing no other choice, they prayed to God for forgiveness, picked Jonah up, and threw him overboard. Instantly, the sea became perfectly calm. The sailors were in awe. But what about Jonah? As he sank into the deep, dark water, something incredible happened. God sent a giant fish, and it swallowed Jonah whole. Can you imagine that? 1 minute you're sinking in a stormy sea, and the next you're inside the belly of a giant fish. It was dark, it was smelly, and it was definitely not a 5-star hotel. Jonah was inside that fish for 3 whole days and 3 long nights. In that dark, lonely place, Jonah had a lot of time to think. He realized he couldn't run from God. He couldn't hide, and so, from inside the fish's belly, Jonah prayed. He didn't just say, "Help, get me out of here." He prayed a real prayer of repentance. He thanked God for saving him from drowning. He admitted he was wrong, and he promised that he would obey God and do what he was asked to do. He understood that salvation comes from the Lord. And after 3 days, God heard his prayer. He commanded the fish, and it swam to the shore and spat Jonah out onto dry land. Talk about a dramatic entrance. So, that was Jonah, back on solid ground, probably covered in seaweed and fish goo, but alive. And what happened next? The word of the Lord came to Jonah a second time. God said, "Get up and go to the great city of Nineveh and proclaim to it the message I give you." This time, Jonah didn't run. He obeyed. He traveled to Nineveh, a huge city, and walked through its streets, shouting the message God gave him. In 40 days, Nineveh will be overthrown. He probably expected the people to laugh at him or get angry. But a surprising thing happened. The people of Nineveh believed him. From the king on his throne to the simplest person in the city, everyone repented. They stopped their wicked ways, put on sackcloth, and fasted. The king even made a decree that everyone, including the animals, should cry out to God and turn from their evil paths. When God saw that they had truly changed their hearts, he had compassion and did not bring about the destruction he had threatened. He forgave them. You'd think Jonah would be happy, right? His mission was a success. But he wasn't. He was angry. He stomped out of the city, sat down on a hill, and sulked. He basically said to God, "I knew this would happen. That's why I ran away in the first place. I knew you were a gracious and compassionate God, slow to anger and abounding in love." He was upset that God showed mercy to his enemies. So God decided to teach Jonah one more lesson. He caused a leafy plant to grow up quickly over Jonah's head, giving him shade from the hot sun. Jonah was very happy about the plant, but the next day, God sent a worm to chew the plant, and it withered away. Then, a scorching east wind and a blazing sun beat down on Jonah's head until he felt faint. He got angry again, this time about the plant. And God said to him, "You are concerned about a plant which you did not tend or make grow. It sprang up overnight and died overnight. But Nineveh has more than 120,000 people who cannot tell their right hand from their left, and also many animals. Should I not have concern for that great city?" This story is just so powerful. Even the fish that swallowed Jonah and the animals in Nineveh were part of this big plan. Witnesses to God's incredible power and mercy, the fish obeyed God's command, and the animals in the city were even included in the city's act of repentance. It shows how all of creation is under God's loving care. And it really makes you wonder at the patience God has, not just with the people of Nineveh, but with a grumpy prophet like Jonah, too. He gave everyone a second chance. And that's the beautiful takeaway for all of us. No matter how far we run or what mistakes we make, it's never too late to turn back. God is a God of second chances, just like he gave Jonah a second chance to fulfill his mission. And just like he gave the people of Nineveh a second chance to change their ways, he offers that same grace and forgiveness to us. If you ever feel like you've messed up or you're running in the wrong direction, just remember Jonah. Stop, pray, and turn back. God's arms are always open, ready to welcome you home with a loving hug. He is full of mercy and ready to forgive. Thanks so much for listening to the story of Jonah with me today. I hope it encouraged you. Remember to hit that like button if you enjoyed it, and subscribe for more amazing stories. Have a wonderful day, and we'll see you next time.